It is April 22nd, 2025, and I have just finished season 6, episode 2 of Shameless. And as a former Debbie apologist, I am stressing the fuck out right now. So, Debbie met a new boy. This boy is called Derek. He is thankfully her age. And they started doing some very not their age things. And Derek was like, "Hey, I would like to do the do with you." And Debbie, a 14-year-old girl, went, "Okay, sure." And she's 15 now. She's not 13 anymore. So the time has passed. So she goes up to Fiona and she's like, "I actually do want the pill after all." And Fiona's like, "Oh, fine, we'll take you to go get the pill." And then the doctor's like, the pill is not going to start working until 48 hours in. So do not, like, make sure you have other protection if you're going to do the do then. And Debbie's like, "Yeah, sure." And then Derek goes, "All right, tonight's the night." And Debbie's like, "Okay, it's cool. I'm on the pill. You don't need nothing." And I'm like, "Did you not hear the doctor, girly?" It turns out no, she actually got pregnant kind of on purpose from what I can tell, because she did hear what the doctor said, but there was also this like family barbecue that she went to with Derek's family, and she met Derek's brother's baby mama, and that girl was like, "Honestly, like, having this kid was the best thing that ever happened to me. It got me out of my shitty family. This family's so much better." And Debbie went, "Oh, okay," and then did what she was going to do. So then she tells Fiona, "Hey, I think I'm pregnant." And then Fiona takes her to the clinic, and Debbie's like, "No, I'm not pregnant." She is pregnant. And then Derek's parents ship him off to Florida to live with his grandma. And they show up to the Gallagher house, and they're like, "We need to talk about this baby." And Fiona's like, "What the hell is wrong with you, Debbie?" And Debbie's like, "I'm a grown up. I'm in love. I'm going to go and pack a bag and move to Florida because I'm going to, me and Derek are going to raise this baby together, blah, 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 blah." And we're, oh, God, Debbie. I think my problem is that she's doing some horrible shit right now. But I think I've been around enough troubled girls in my life that I know why she's doing it. And I'm just like, oh God, I think I want to be as angry with Debbie as everybody else is. But I'm just like, oh my God, I hope at some point you pull it together, girl. Speaking of pulling it together, Fiona absolutely fumbled Steve KAZEE. I'm very upset. So literally the episode after they get married, they've been married for like a day and a half at this point, or like a week or something, like a very small amount of time. Fiona tells her family that she's married. Everyone's like, "That's weird, but good for you." And then Jimmy comes back into town. And in another run of this show where Jimmy did not leave in such a horrible way, I would have been happy to see Jimmy back. But no, Fiona married Steve KAZEE. There was a musical episode on the horizon where Steve KAZEE and Emmy Rossum did a duet together, but no, Jimmy came back and Fiona fucked him. Why did you do that, Fiona? Like, this is a fascinating character, but she just loves to take chaos. She loves to pull chaos from the jaws of order. So then when Fiona's like, "Hey, Debbie, you got to get in control of your life. Like, you can't let boys define you and shit." Debbie rightfully calls her out, and she's just like, "You married Gus after, like, knowing him for, like, less than a week. You keep fucking up all your relationships. You have no right to judge me." To be fair, Fiona is her legal guardian. Fiona does have a right to judge her. Fiona's fucked up life has nothing to do with how she parents Debbie. But Debbie isn't making incorrect accusations. This leads us to an arc that I'm less of a fan of. Fiona is now fucking another boss figure. She has received a promotion partially in connection to this relationship. This is Sean. He is the guy who runs the pie restaurant that she works for. He has a dope addiction, or like a heroin addiction or something, and he has just fallen off the wagon. And he said specifically in season 5, "I don't want to get with you, Fiona, because I like you, and chaotic women were my addiction long before heroin was. If I get with you, I'm gonna fall off the wagon." And then that's what led Fiona to like start to pursue like the Irish guy and then Gus. So I was hoping this wouldn't happen, but it did, and he fell off the wagon. Fuck. Which leads us to an even worse development for Fiona. Now Fiona's pregnant. Unlike Debbie, she absolutely does not want to keep it. Like, she's going to be going to the clinic like post haste. But I guess this opens the door for my favorite man, Steve KAZEE, to come back to the show, because she was married to him. Like, there's a good chance the kid is Gus's, right? Like, it can't be heroin addict Sean's. Like, I really hope it's not. On to much sadder, more genuinely tragic news. Ian and Mickey are kind of broken up at the moment because Mickey is in jail because of some stuff going on with the actual worst character on this show, Sammy. Sammy is like their oldest half sibling. Like Frank somehow had another daughter. Like some other woman was procreating with Frank. I don't know why she would do that, but here we are. But Sammy ends up turning Ian into the MPs because of some stuff going on with Chucky and Carl, who went to juvie. It was a whole thing. Carl is now in this like weird era where like he's running all the kids in his juvie and they all call him White Boy Carl, and they're like, White Boy Carl, White Boy Carl. Before I get into Mickey and Ian, or Galovich apparently, I need to talk about White Boy Carl. He's incredible. Like he came out of juvie from that whole thing because he was like a drug mule for this guy called G-Dog, and then he ends up strapping all this heroin to Sammy's son's body, and then Frank calls the canine dogs on them for some reason, and then Carl runs away, Chucky gets arrested, and then this whole shit happens. And then Carl ends up in juvie, and Juvie's like, and Carl basically just looks at the judge. He's like, nah, fuck this, send me to juvie. And Fiona's like, what the fuck are you doing? And Carl's just like, I'm gonna run this shit, don't worry about me. And everyone's like, actually, he's gonna run this shit, and I don't know what's gonna be worse. But anyway, he's out. He has this big 18-year-old friend named Nick who is living with them right now. He's like this big black dude. He went to jail. He went to juvie for burning his dad alive or something, which I'm pretty sure that man deserved it. Anyway, this looks like it's going to be a fount of comedy and tragedy, and I'm not sure what's going to happen to White Boy Carl. I'm a little worried about him, and he was always a little nutty, but I was never worried about him the way that I worried about Debbie. Now I worry about him. Anyway, back to Galovich. So it turns out Ian's erratic behavior over the last couple seasons has been explained. He now has an official diagnosis of bipolar 1 with psychosis, I believe. And I don't know that much about bipolar 1, but if this is an accurate portrayal of what living with bipolar is, God bless y'all. This is hard. This is like some hard shit. And Mickey, honestly, he steps the fuck up. He's just like, I love you, buddy. Take your fucking meds. Like, he's on top of him and shit. Like, he's like, I want you to get better. I want to do life with you. And Ian's just like, I don't feel like myself on the meds. Like, I feel shitty. And then this all kind of culminates, like, throughout the season. He now works for Fiona's pie place, but he doesn't anymore. He actually just quit. And he actually, like, goes away at one point because he escapes the MPs once Sammy turns him in. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. So he's away for a few days with Monica, their mom. And then finally he comes home and he calls Mickey and he's like, I'm home. And Mickey runs over there and Ian's just like, are you going to keep making me take my meds? And Mickey's like, you're crazy off them. Like, you have to take your meds. And he's just like, I don't want you to fix me. Like I'm not broken. Because of this whole thing that Monica was saying, where it's just like, you can't be with people who aren't going to accept you for who you are. Read his unmedicated self, who is self-destructive and stealing helicopters and doing all sorts of dumb shit. So then Mickey at this point is devastated and he's just like, you're breaking up with me over this. And Ian's like, yeah, I kind of have to. And that's when Sammy shows up from Mickey's revenge attempt on her, which was kind of attempted murder, and then she attempted murders Mickey with like trying to shoot him. So the cops come, Mickey and Sammy both get arrested. I'm assuming we don't see Sammy again after this, but we have seen Mickey, and Svetlana is trying to get Ian to visit Mickey because Mickey won't see her and their baby without him. So then Mickey's like, please tell me you're going to wait for me. Like, 8 years is a long time. Even if you got to lie, tell me that you're waiting. And Ian's like, yeah, I'm waiting. And honestly, the whole thing is just really sad and tragic. And I'm worried we're not going to see Mickey again. I love them. I was not expecting to love them as much as I do, but I do. They're great. We do need to take a minute and focus on Lip, who is absolutely fucking up his life at the moment. He's doing well in school, which is great. But he had a girlfriend, like a rich girlfriend, and he has essentially abandoned her to fuck his professor. And this is getting really complicated because she has like an open marriage, and the husband is just like, you know, the only reason why you're doing this is because I'm letting you. And Lip is like, oh, I'm in over my head. But I do need to stop and talk about like one line that he drops when he's about to fuck the professor, when the professor's like, I don't fraternize with students. And he's like, no, I don't want to fraternize. I want to fuck you. And I was like, ah! Anyway, this is bound to blow up in his face. And he and Fiona have blowing up their lives when opportunities are handed to them in common, which is not great for them. Anyway, that is what is going on Shameless as of season 6, episode 2. I am very stressed out. I'm hoping for the best for everyone at this point because everyone's like on the cusp of fucking up all of their lives forever. forever. Also, Kevin V are doing well.